What's going on, folks? Coach Gav Live, episode 28 with me, your host, Coach Gav from Killer Strength and Fitness. So, I had my little girl over for the weekend and we went out rollerblading and, roller skating. And it was awesome fun. Awesome fun. Now, Freya's been on her skates, I'd say maybe a dozen times with me, and probably maybe 2-3 dozen times with her mum. So her practice is pretty good. Now Freya is five and a half, little over 5.5 years old. So kind of, she was quite, reasonably good at skating yesterday. Now she's not Tony Hawk's, but she's getting there. Although no, Tony Hawk was a skateboarder. If anyone knows a famous inline rollerblader, just comment below. So anyways, skating was really well, flying along pretty good. Now we went out on the road then, the road in the estate where I live. Obviously there was no cars, it's a Sunday. So then we went around and she had a couple of wobbles in the garden where we've tarmacked, and then she had one pretty big wobble out on the road. Now she wobbled, stopped herself and was fine. Now she stopped herself and didn't fall or didn't nearly hit the floor, she shook herself, so she kind of got panicked. She got a little upset over it, alright? Which is perfectly natural. It's okay to be upset over things. And it is okay to cry. It's okay to be upset. It's actually a good thing to show emotion. That's just a side note, a kind of a general life tip. We're not robots. It is okay to show emotion. It is okay to be frustrated, angry, upset, happy, sad, all these different things then as well. What's not okay is to kind of be, well, in my opinion, it's not okay to be, say, kind of excessively kind of upset or whatever. Kind of, sometimes we overreact to things, but that's a side note. So she got a little startled and we had a bit of a cry, and I kind of sat down with her. I was like, "Hey, why are you crying, sweetie?" And she goes, "No, I cried because I almost fell over." I said, "Well, that's all right. You said you didn't fall over." And she goes, "But what if I did fall over and I hit the ground?" I was going, "But you didn't, so it's fine." So Freya was worried over almost hitting the floor, and then what if she hit the floor? And these two things are, and I've lived this firsthand, is what can trap us and hold us back as people. Spending too much time thinking, worrying, changing our plans of action on what might happen and what almost happened. We need to deal way more in black and white. This actually happened. This didn't happen. Okay? And, we're... Morning, Lisa. What's going on? Lisa, side note, your kids need to stop supporting Man City straight away. They need to switch colours, support Man United, problem solved. That's an order. Stop following Man City, start following Man United. Way better choice, okay? But anyways, so we as people, we hang up on what happened in the past or what almost happened. Oh, I was almost in a car crash. Yeah, well, you weren't, so get over it. And that might seem a little ruthless. I realise when you're trying to teach kind of life perspective to a 5.5-year-old about roller skating, it's a little tricky. But I know laying the foundation now will pay off later on in life. I don't want Freya suffering or missing out in life because of irrational fears over stuff. She will develop genuine fears over things naturally. That's fine. But an irrational fear is kind of like, come on, I don't want to go through what I kind of went through over stuff. So that's where some of us may be going wrong, where we don't take action, or oh, I'm not going to join that gym, I'm not going to start that program, I'm not going to work with that trainer. What if it's a waste of money? What if it doesn't work? What if he's too tough? What if I can't handle it? Turn the screw the other way. Do a 180. Flip it and go the other way with it. What if it does work out? What if financially it's the best freaking investment you'll ever make? What if it's the best use of your time? What if it's the turning point in your life where the story of your life just goes upward? Instead of going this downward slope, you make a change, shoop, and away you go. And I know we covered kind of the what if thing on Instagram a while back, and it was a reasonably decent post if I do say so myself. But that is, again, like I said, guys, I've lived it. I'm not going to say this to that person. What if they react badly? What if this? Okay, well, firstly, if you've something important to say and something that possibly could be taken out of context, say it in person, because then you can explain things. Don't say important stuff over text message or WhatsApp or Messenger or that kind of stuff, okay? Because you can't read tone and context when you're just reading text. Secondly, we were doing some bench press testing here in the gym today, just kind of see where strength levels, where we're all at. And we're a competitive bunch in here, which is good. Now, I like to think it's a healthy level of competition, competitiveness, and it's working because we're competitive in the right context. And what I mean by that is that when we're competitive, the competition has to be between me and myself. So I bettered my previous. I hit 82 today. I died under 85. But my previous best was a really sloppy 80. So not only did I lift more, I lifted better. So win-win. Now, Calvin, who was in here this morning as well, Kevin benched 105. So on paper, he benched 22.5 kilos more than me. So, yay. But he's also been ahead of me. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to be like, I definitely want to catch up and close the gap between the two as you're going on. So we need to be more competitive, absolutely. But the competition starts with ourselves. We need to challenge ourselves to do more, to be more, and to do better every single time you go for a walk, go for a training session, line up for a training session on a pitch, go to the gym, try anything with your nutrition then as well. Because so many of us are just so happy kind of coasting along and just kind of offering up lip service where, oh yeah, I go to the gym. Yeah, but do you go to the gym or do you train? Because there's two very different things there. There's going to the gym and there's actually training. I spent 6 years working in a commercial gym, and for 6 years I saw some people not change their physique in the slightest bit. They were just there to go through it. Now, I don't want to sound like a complete arsehole. I do understand there is the social element and the importance of the social element of being in a gym and that kind of stuff, and maybe that's what they were there for, and that's perfectly cool. But you still want to be a little bit better than what you were. Lift a little more weight. Lift the same weight for more reps. Do it with better technique. You don't have to be the fastest, the strongest, the heaviest person in the facility, but you definitely should be striving to be the fastest, strongest, fittest version of yourself. And that's a healthy level of competition. I think we've managed to harness it pretty well. And we also do have a healthy competition of people wanting to surpass each other. People wanted to close the gap between him and her, or her and her, or him and whatever. So the first point being is that stop spending so much of your time and energy kind of worrying about what might happen. Deal as often as you can in absolutes, okay? Then let go of what almost happened. Oh, well, this almost happened. I almost scored. Yeah, you didn't. Okay, I almost caught it. Yeah, you didn't. I almost got hurt. Yeah, but you didn't. All right? I almost slipped up with my diet. Yeah, but you didn't. Okay? And that might seem like a real idealistic way of looking at it, but if you're sitting there thinking, Jesus, that's easy for you to say, it's not easy for me to say. Because the me of now would kick the shit out of the me of a year ago and even further. Physically, but also for the way I used to carry on. Limiting myself to believing that this was only what I was capable of achieving, and this little box here, that was it, that's all that was destined, as opposed to thinking that, well, why can't you go and achieve all these things, why can't you do all this, why can't you go all this kind of stuff? And that's where we're going wrong. We're limiting ourselves, we're restricting ourselves, and we all are so great at encouraging our kids to go and to do this and to try that and to give it over. Like, we've all heard the saying, where there's a will, there's a way. Where I'm going to go one step further. Where there's a pulse, there's a possibility. If you have a pulse going through your veins, there's a possibility you can turn things around. For those of you, John Jones, he's a UFC fighter. He's one of the best ever. He's had a little bit of personal trouble outside of the occasion as well. But he's kind of come full circle by the looks of it. Where he's gone from being on top of the world to being on the bottom of the world and now being back on top of the world again. It's taken 2 years and it'll probably take forever. But again, looking at kind of, if you imagine like a character in a TV show or a film, the kind of the character's arc or the story arc, where there's that kind of that pit of like things being really crappy and then they improve and get better as they go along. So many of us get stuck at this pit here because we believe there's no way out, as opposed to continuing that climb and coming back up to the top of the hill. So no matter what age you are, no matter what you weigh, no matter your level of experience, no matter how many times you've failed before in the past, if you're sitting there watching this video, you've a beat in your heart, you've a pulse in your vein, you've breath in your lungs. That means you've a chance, you've an opportunity to make a choice to make better decisions in life. If you don't choose to make that choice, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Just don't go and bitch about things not being how you want them to then. That's one of my, I've a handful of pet peeves, and that's probably top of the list. People who whinge about stuff not being the way they want them to, and they have the power to change it. A lot of stuff goes on in my life that impacts me that I have no say in. That's fine. I can roll with that, and a lot of us do. But I'm not going to whinge if things aren't how I want them to be, and I'm in control of what I can do. If I go home and sit on my ass for the next 5 hours and do sweet F all, I can't then complain if business is slow, or if our members aren't getting better results, or if, you know, the facility isn't looking as well as it can be. Because I'm sitting there doing nothing, as opposed to making phone calls, making emails, reviewing files, studying, you know, looking after myself. We all have a chance to make a choice. And realistically, we have thousands of moments and situations every time, every day. Make a better choice, make a better choice, make a better choice. And if you had like 1,000 choices to make in a day, once 501 of them were better choices than the other 499, you're winning. You're winning, okay? And then the more good choice you make, the further that gap becomes and the greater your level of success. That's it, folks. Stop worrying about what ifs. Stop worrying about what almost happened. Start being more competitive with yourself first and then with others. Compete to be better than you were before, and then compete to be the best. Almost fucking nailed that. Cheers, baby. That's it, folks. Take it easy, folks. Talk to you tomorrow.